Hey guys, it is USS Wisconsin 94, and today I was going to be doing a little bit of a tank talk with you guys. And today the question is should Sixth Sense be standard or basically what it is right now as a perk or a skill? And what I mean by that is something I found to be interesting from PC, console, and Blitz is just how different Sixth Sense works in all three versions. I don't mean it works just like Sixth Sense. Your commander has a Sixth Sense that I'm spotted. I gotta get the hell out of here, kind of thing. I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking in terms of how it activates. On console, detected, and Sixth Sense works. Sixth Sense, if you have the perk, if you have it, then it automatically appears on the bottom left corner. And it says Sixth Sense went off. You are now spotted. However, detected works is if both your commanders are looking in the same direction of. I forgot about this for a second. If you have both your commanders, both your tanks looking at each other, then detected will go off. I think. I'm not entirely sure. I think that's how it works, but someone could correct me because I'm not entirely sure. I think that's it, but I'm not sure. On Blitz, Sixth Sense is standard, which means that you don't have to grind for it. There is no perk or skill that you need to get in order to get it. It's automatically there. Everybody has it, whether you're a player who just started with 50 games or someone who could have like 50,000 games. It's there automatically. But there's a slight delay. I think there's like a 2 or 3 second delay to it, which is something that I personally think is the best one of them all. But then we have PC, which, again, you have to train it up, just like console, but there's also the delay that it has. It doesn't pop up automatically as soon as you get spotted. It has that 2 or 3 second delay like Blitz, but you still have to grind for it. I personally think, of the three systems for Sixth Sense, I think that Blitz has the best system of them all. And I personally think that PC and console should all follow Blitz in terms of Sixth Sense on Blitz. Now, before everyone goes and says, well, USS, but I don't need Sixth Sense. I got 50,000 battles and I don't need it. It's like, well, guess what? I don't care about what someone who keeps saying that thing. I don't believe people who say, I don't need Sixth Sense. I never need it. I don't need it. It's like, I personally don't believe them. But I also think that Sixth Sense, the four main perks and skills that a person needs in a tank is Sixth Sense, Brothers in Arms, and a console exclusive perk skill is Track Mechanic. And there's also a normal repairs that both PC and console have. But it's something that I find interesting how that Track Mechanic is basically you just fix your tracks faster. Repairs fix everything faster. But it's just something I think is interesting about it. Another thing is how the perk and skill system works on console, Blitz, and PC. All three of them are different. And not entirely, like, they're still going to have the same effect. You're going to have faster reload, better aim time, a little better mobility, and things like that. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how instead of console is basically once you get it, a perk is once you finally get 100%, you get it. It's done. You don't have to worry about it. A skill is it gradually increases as you get up to 100%. And I find interesting how people don't want to have Sixth Sense as a standard. Even though I personally think they should get rid of it as a perk and have it as standard in game and get rid of the detected or just replace detected and Sixth Sense with just spotted, because that makes more sense because you're in line of sight of somebody as an enemy team. This is something that I personally think that they should do with the game. But I know they're not going to do that because generally I think that wargaming is too lazy on PC and console, unfortunately. but it's just something that I don't think people really want to go for. But that's basically just what I think about it. I do think there should be some more improvements or some changes to how the perks and skills works on PC compared to like Blitz and console. One thing I like, the thing about PC is that a good example is the T-34 Tier 8 American Premium has 6 crew members. It has the gunner, the radio operator, the driver, the commander, and it also has 2 loaders. Now, say that you want to go into, I don't know, maybe an E5. Well, guess what? That's great, but you're going to have this little problem with the fact that you don't have all those different crew members, though. You don't have 6 people in the tank. You have, come on, you actually have 4. You have the driver, the gunner, the loader, and the commander. That's it. You no longer have the radio operator or that second loader. So that means that you now have 2 people who are just sitting in the sidelines, just basically they're just sitting there. They don't have anything to do. That's the one thing that I like about console is that we don't have to worry about that. It's just one and done. You just have to worry about the commander. That can have some problems with the fact that it's like, if you want to train safe stowage for something like the Leopard 1 because it's made of ammo racks, but you want to have either safe stowage or preventive maintenance, but you can't train them on different guys like a loader or something like that. You can't do that, unfortunately. But I still think that console has the best system when it comes to the crews and the crew training and how it works with the perks and skills. I still think console has the best. PC, I personally don't like at all. I have tried PC many years ago, but the perks and skills of the crew system has not changed at all in like 4 or 5 years since the game first came out for PC. Is one of those things where I still think we should follow PC in some areas, but I think the crew system, I think that the console for the overall general is better than PC. But then there's also some other things like if you don't have a radio operator, but you still have the radio, which means that it's going to be onto some other person, like the commander or something like that, which people don't seem to understand is that just because you don't have the radio operator anymore doesn't mean that you can't put it on somebody like the commander, because the commander would now have the job of the radio operator because he's got the radio is right behind his head kind of thing. But that is just what I think. I think all 3 versions of WoT Tanks have their pros and cons. There's some things I don't like about the console version. Perfect example are things like the incredibly annoying, the Waffle E100, the FV215B183 Death Star or Hesh Star is they gave it an armor buff. They didn't nerf the Hesh, the premium Hesh, and they didn't nerf the traverse speed of it, which on the console, which makes no sense. I personally think that's dumb. And they also have the 850 for tier 10 TDs, the E3, E4, 268, and I think there's another one, but unfortunately I can't remember the name. I don't think there is, but there is. I don't know for certain. But that's just something. Should we completely blindly follow all the other 2 versions compared to ours? That's something I ask you guys. Is console better or worse than PC or Blitz? And I don't want people to try and do a huge internet fight because, well, those are absolutely a waste of time, but they can be entertaining, but usually it's just waste of time. Anyway, I bet that's basically all I got for right now. I do think, basically, the crew system overall on console is better than PC, but 6 Sense works better on Blitz than it does on PC and console. But But that's just me. I don't know what you guys think about this. So I'm curious about what do you guys think as well. So put down in the comments what do you guys think, if you agree with me or not. I'm curious to know what more people think about this. This is something I've been wondering about for several years, ever since all three versions have been out for a while now. But anyway, so that is me talking to you, USS Wisconsin 94, and I'll see you guys later.